guys, so we're back for a new tutorial. I'm gonna turn on the lights, but just to show you that today we got the red lights, we got the red shirt. You know why? That's because we about to make some fire, bro. Let's get it. Let's go. Okay, so if I'm not wrong, the first thing I did was starting with the drums, which is unusual for me, but hey, sometimes you gotta change a little bit, you know, change the routine and stuff. What I did is I started with a clap first. I wanted to do a new jazz type beat, and I started with a clap, a real simple clap, you know. And what I did is I just, instead of following the same pattern at the last bar, I moved it here, so on the fourth line, as you can see. And it just creates a nice rhythm, and it's like kind of like a drill pattern, you know. And new jazz is close to drill, so it's a good thing for me. Then I added the hi-hats, and as you can see, they're following the basic drill pattern. To do a basic drill pattern, what you want to do is place the first hi-hat here, right on the first. Then you want to skip 2, and you want to place. You want to skip 2 cells, and you want to place. Then skip again 2 cells and place it, and then 1 cell and place it. And you can just copy this like this, so 2 2 and 1, and as you can see, it's going to repeat itself like this. Real simple. But what I did here is, instead of just following it like this, I actually deleted those and played a little bit with the rhythm. So I stayed on that basic rhythm for the first one, and then the second one is you experiment a little bit. You add rolls, you add new notes, you add maybe velocity notes, I don't know. You can even like change the pitch and stuff. So, and as you can see, I added roll here, roll again, and here, just here, it's many notes played really high up, as you can see, because I have another hi-hat, which is from my drum kit, by the way, Summrs drum kit here on my website, emotionalwave.com. It's free, and this is how it sounds. This is how all the hi-hats and all the stuff sounds together. So then I added the counter snare. So for the counter snare, an easy, of course, basic tip is to not put it on the snare. So that's why it's useful. It's a counter snare, so it uses the off rhythm with the snare, you know, to create a nice bounce. And as you can see, it's just a really simple one. Usually you want to experiment with it, place many notes, place many things, and try and error. This is really basic try and error. Then you have the famous Kelly perc. So this is really basic, just on the fourth line, as you can see, and it's just repeating itself. So then you have the OG bongo, right? You know the bongo, the drill bongo, really nice one, by the way. And if I have a tip for the bongos, usually bongos, they go really well together when they are played off rhythm. So if you follow the rhythm, it should be here, which is good. I mean, not even here. This one should be there. As you can see, this is a really straight 2-step pattern. As you can see, it doesn't sound great, so you just move it here, and there you have a really good rhythm. And then you just take those two and you move them here, and this is gonna sound even better. Same here, we're gonna add another perc. Again, this step we're just adding new percs, and a little tip I can give you is to, of course, make sure not to put things on the basic rhythm. What I call the basic rhythm is first the snare, not on the third. So our snare is here, so we're not gonna put anything here, 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 and here, all right, because those are the snare hits. Another tip I can give you is, if you look at all the percs, so those are the percs, as you can see, they're never overlaying each other. Maybe sometimes they are, for example the bell and the OG, but that's because they have different frequencies, so it's okay to do this. But similar frequencies, and usually percs usually have similar frequencies, what you want to do is not overlaying them and make sure that it sounds good, you know. As you can see, we're already having some bounce here. So then we have effects, so I'm not going to show you this one. Then we have a bell. So this bell, as you can see, is playing really nicely. A nice choppy rhythm, again on the off rhythm, and it's playing with the bongo. And I have a slide here to really create that new jazz effect that you might hear. If you look, for example, at Yeet sounds, sometimes, especially his old, really old sounds, he has this bell that is really, really nice. Then we have two different lasers. So I have this first laser that, as you can see, is not on the snare hits, and plus it has a roll, so it creates that nice choppy rhythm again. We're trying to go for choppy and bouncy for Nemzzz, and we have a second one, so this one, which is just playing off rhythm with the first one. Then we have the chant, and this one is playing the basic chant rhythm, which I only use on the second line. As you can see, this is usually where I place my chant. Then we have three different open hats, and they're playing, as you can see, in nice rhythm. So first one, then alternates, as you can see. So we have, I'm gonna show you all the different open hats. So we have this first one, which is playing a nice long one, as you can see. Then we have this one, which is much more shorter, so it's playing a quick rhythm. And then we have this one, which is really, really long. Then we have the pure Vox. This is a really nice one. And it's played on the last hit. As you can see, this is the whole pattern. It's played on the last hit. Lastly, we have the bell, the basic bell, and then we're gonna go to the kick. But the basic bell is really simple. For the bell, there's a specific rhythm that I use. It's gonna be the first here, and then we have this one here, as you can see. So it's gonna be on the first line and then on the fourth line. Oh, and also I added this roll to create that nice choppy effect again. And last one is almost the same thing, but the roll is just a little bit longer, as you can see. So a nice tip to do this is to go on the envelope of your sample and to play with the envelope so you have the hold at 100% and everything else turned off. And lastly, we have the kicks and the 808. Okay, so this is where we're gonna need the basic Nemzzz pattern. So Nemzzz usually is playing with this pattern, which I don't know if it has a name, but it's, yeah, I think it's a Tresillo pattern. I'm not sure, but basically, so what you want to do with the kick is place the first one here on the first step. All right, then you want to go on the second line and skip 2. On the second line, you skip 2 cells, you place it. And what you want to do now is go directly to the fourth line. As you can see, it's place, you skip 5, you place, you skip 5, and you place, and then you skip only 3. So yeah, this is how the pattern sounds like. So this is the basic pattern, but of course what you want to do now is just add more notes to it. Add more notes, copy the pattern, so you take it and you copy it here, you add more notes to create more bounce, and you just experiment. And for the 808s, you usually want to use really distorted, weird type of 808s, not commonly used in the trap scene. You really want to use those underdogs, so because they sound good. And then you want to follow the chord progression and follow the kick pattern that I showed you earlier. And lastly, again, to go with that, usually you have this type of bass. This is how it sounds like with the rhythm. Then just want to add a bunch of effects and you should have a good rhythm. So now let's go to the basic, really simple actually, melody, as you can see. So the first thing that we have is a kind of like a synth pad, and this synth pad is the wide synth brass from Xenology. So I was scrolling and I actually found this one, which is really good. It was totally random, but I liked it. And for the pattern, this is where it gets dark and this is where it gets obscure, where I don't really know what I did. I'm sorry, but I'm still gonna try to explain it as so basically, as I told you, the basic chord progression for Nemzzz is gonna be one note here, boom, you extend it, right? Follow the rhythm that I showed you, so place, skip 5, but you're not really gonna skip it, you're just gonna extend the note, and then 1 below, and then it's gonna be I don't know how much below, I think it's 7 if I'm not wrong. I'll show you how I did this. A, we take this one, we go 1 below, and then we take this one and we go 7. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and we got C sharp. Once we have the bass notes, all right, the root notes of the chord progression, we can build around it. This chord, if you look at the chord like this, it's just an A major, but it's just that the C sharp is put it 1 octave up, and then this one is a basic G sharp minor chord if you follow the scale, because if you follow the scale, you're gonna end up with a diminished on top with 2 and 2 like this, as you can see. Okay, so once we have this, the last one, we're just gonna put those 2 and put them here. As you can see, this is a basic C sharp minor, but instead of playing the normal one, which is like this, it's playing those 2 up, which is really nice. Basic copy and paste. Oh, and for the last one, which I forgot, it's an E. If I'm not wrong, we're in C sharp minor. I just found out that we're in C sharp minor, and if you look at the chord progression, basically it's going from the 6th to the 5th, and then to the root note, and from the root note we're going to the 3rd, and then we just go back, and it loops. E major, I don't know how you say it basically, but it's an E major one. Maybe I can show you how I did this chord so that you can like maybe do it with the other ones. This is E, okay? And what you want to do, if you have the scale highlighting feature, which you can go here, view, scale highlighting, and you take the minor, natural, Aeolian here, and you also pick your root note, there you should be able to have the notes highlighted for you. So you can see literally what note is in the scale and what is not. And then what you want to do is really simple. Skip, place, skip, place. That's the formula. So let's say that I want to do the E major chord, sorry. So we're going to take the note, the E, copy it, but then we're going to skip. So we're going to skip the F sharp, we're going to go to G sharp, and we do it again, skipping the A, going to B, and then that's the basic triad, all right? But for new jazz, you usually want to have more complex chord. So we're going to add the 7th, which is again skip place, and then we're going to add the 9th, which is again skip E, place F sharp. And the thing you can do is tremize the chord, as you can see, or you can also go here, go to tools and humanize it. Then you just want to copy the chord progression into another synth, and I use the mini grail from Xenology, and this is how both of the synths sounds like. And for the first one, in terms of mix, I didn't do any real mixing. As you can see, it's only EQ since the sound is already really professional. I just cut all the lows and cut a little bit of the highs. And for the growl, I just added the Juno 60 chorus and the same thing, and also add a little bit of wider to it. Then we're gonna have some leads. When you play new jazz, you gotta add some leads, and the first lead we have is the square lead from Xenology 2. All right, and for this I have no really good tip for you, only to use flares. Let's say that you want to play your note, so F sharp, all right, but instead of playing just F sharp like this, so you're gonna place F sharp, you're gonna move it a little bit, and you're gonna place the note below in the scale, which is E, and as you can see, it creates a nice effect that we all like. All right, and you're just gonna repeat it, and now you can experiment with the thing, the sample. I mean, you can also play it with a MIDI if you want. Really, for leads, I don't have any tip, because that's something you gotta freestyle. That's something that it needs to come from the heart, you know? It needs to come from the heart, it needs to come from here, and if you don't feel it, just change it, bro. As you can see, really nice. It's really repetitive and it's really simple. The second lead that we have is literally the same, and for the sound, it's the D3 plus pulse from Purity. And then we have another lead, and this one is just gonna fill the gaps a little bit of the first one, so it's almost the same tips that I can give you, just flares and play with the rhythm. And I forgot to tell you, but the preset I use is Hard Sync Plus from Xenology. And for the mix, again, almost no mix, just a bit of EQ for all of them. And here we have a bit of wider, and there's really nothing to it because it's really simple, it's really nice. Oh, and a little bit of reverb for that one. and lower the lows. Again, lower the lows for all the melodic thing that you can let play for the 808. We're almost finished. We just need to add that synth bass or real bass. You can choose. You choose. And for that one, lower really the lows, because of course it's a bass, so it's gonna have a lot of lows, but we want to let all the low frequencies for the 808s, because there's a lot of 808s in new jazz. All right, and the last thing we're gonna add is this beauty, the pop brass LNGFL from Xenology. This is like a really good preset, like, so you can hear it a lot, but it's really nice. And to do this, I added Pro EQ, alright, the Pro Q4 on the lo-fi bandpass radio preset, and I also lowered the low. Alright, so we're done with the beat, everything is covered. The last thing I can show you is how to do this beautiful intro. And to do this, it's really simple. Just take your verse, take your chorus, my fault, alright, take your chorus, Control-Alt-C, you know, to consolidate it. Then you want to consolidate it once you have the file, alright. Once you have the audio file, you just want to take it, make sure that it's on resample here, right? Don't put it on stretch. And you want to take it, click here, and just stretch it maybe 1 bar, 2 bars, depends usually on the sound. But if I show you, for example, if I put it here, it's literally the same. But now we're just gonna stretch it till the 10th bar here, right? And it sounds a little bit more distorted, a little bit more darker, which is what we love. And the last thing is that I added a Valhalla vintage verb on the low cut 500, DK 53, mix 63. You want to have a lot of mix but low DK, so it's not too harsh, you know, on the frequencies and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. And on my master, something I don't do usually is I added a bit of reverb. So here the low cut is really high, DK is really high too, and about 40% for the mix. So you want to hear it but not too much. As you can see, I also brought down the mix here. I also added the Pro Q, where I boost all the high frequencies that I have. This is a really nice step. You do this on your beats too. You can also use fresh hair and just boost both the fresh frequencies and the mid frequencies. This is really good. And last thing, man, Fruity Soft Clipper, that's the basic one, the basic preset. And yeah, this is how you get really bouncy sound, really punchy sound, and it just sounds good, bro. So I hope that y'all are gonna have a good day. I hope that y'all enjoyed this tutorial too. And I mean, the more tutorials ready for you. R&B, Drake, all right, that was a little bit too dark maybe for like my R&B audience, but don't worry, it's gonna come close. We're gonna have some R&B, don't worry. Okay, so have a good day, y'all. As always, don't forget that Jesus loves you. God bless y'all. Peace out.